Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2024, and today I want to talk to you about a concept that I was thinking about this morning. I was thinking about intentions versus plans and purpose as that relates to acquaintances, associates, and friends. A lot of people these days are very, very flaky. They are not consistent at all. And I was thinking how acquaintances are like intentions. People, they start out with good intentions, they mean well, they mean to show up, they mean to do what they say they're going to do, but then they never do. So that's like an acquaintance. That's, you put those in the category of an acquaintance, you know? Then there are those who actually make plans with you, you know, like a buddy or an associate, but plans fall through. Plans, they change, they shift, and it's just not really cemented and grounded. However, when you have people who are aligned with your purpose, friends, then you have something good. Then you have something good. I think that if you are currently in friendships with people that are not in alignment with your purpose, drop them now. Not yesterday, right away. Because the thing about it is this: you will continue to nurture relationships with people who are merely acquaintances or associates, and they offer you nothing but intentions and plans. Your life can't get by with simple intentions or plans to do something. Your life has to have meaningful purpose, and you have to be willing to commit to that purpose. And you need people who are committed to that purpose. I made the mistake early on in my life of thinking that people were friends when they were never in alignment with my purpose. They were never in alignment with where I saw myself down the line. My only criteria at the time to consider somebody a friend was availability. They had to be available to do things. They had to be available to go to the club, available to go to some event, but they never were really in alignment with my true purpose. And at the time, I didn't care. All I wanted was experiences. I placed high premiums on experiences versus my purpose. And so after years of compromising my vision and my purpose for the sake of these stolen moments, I realized, wait a minute. I looked up one day and I realized that I had no real friends in my life that were in alignment with my purpose. These were just acquaintances and associates and buddies that I hung out with, and they were really good about, articulating their intentions and what they mean to do, and also plans, making plans, but then not coming through with those plans. They were good at that. But I realized that my life needed more. As I got older, as I got more mature, I started to realize that my life needed friends who were in alignment with my purpose, And what is my purpose? My purpose is to serve my great creator, God, and to live according to his will. And so the people that I was hanging out with, they didn't fit the bill. They were not in alignment with that, And a lot of times they would interfere and obstruct my purpose. But I was willing to let that happen because I wanted company. I didn't want to be alone. I struggled with fully committing my life to God because I found Christianity to be very, very restrictive. I found it to be hard. It's hard work living your life as a Christian. It means saying no to a lot of what this world has to offer. Let's be real. A lot of what this world has to offer comes in the package of good times, fun, but it's really debauchery. It's debauchery, it's immoral, it's not in alignment with God's will for my life. But I was willing, when I was younger, to engage in that behavior because I was also trying to find myself. I was also trying to find my truth. And sometime in looking for your truth, you end up meeting so many lies and liars. You know, people that pretend to be in alignment with what you with what you believe, but they really are not. And sometimes you find yourself even pretending to believe things that you really don't condone or believe in because you're looking for your truth. You know, I got to be honest. For the longest time, I basically considered the gay lifestyle my truth. But I now realize that I was not living my truth. I was living my wounds. I was living my wounds, and I thought that was my truth, but that was not my truth. And I dealt with people that were in alignment with that truth or those wounds. And the thing about it is this: if you continue to deal with people who reflect your wounding, you never heal. You just stay wounded. You make an identity out of being wounded. And I think so many of us, gay men and women, have made an identity out of brokenness, out of wounding. We've made it our identity. And we've gotten to a point where we just see that as the only way. And it's not. So I now am committed to making real friends who are in alignment with my purpose. No more acquaintances who want to shovel me a series of intentions, what they mean to do. No more buddies or associates who want to offer me empty plans that never come to fruition. I need people who are in alignment with my purpose, who are committed, who are in it for the long haul, because everything else is just wasted time. Wasted time. And when you waste your time, you waste your life. And you wake up one day and you ask yourself, what was it all worth? What did I do this for? You know, was it worth it? Was it worth all of the agony and the stress and the anguish and the depression and just the nonsense? It was not worth it. See, when you live for God, you wake up one day, and let me be clear. It is not easy to live for God because it means that you are going to have to put to death some of your own desires, things that you want to do. You're going to have to walk away from it. But I guarantee you it will be worth it in the end, because the thing about it is this: living according to your own desires might seem fulfilling in the beginning, but when you look back on it, you're like, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the hell and the agony and the trips to the clinics and trips to, you know, just the cemetery. Was it worth it? Is it worth it? But when you actually live your life in alignment with God's will, in the moment, you're like, oh my goodness, I really don't feel like doing this. You're begrudging, right? But then when you look back on it, you feel grateful. You feel proud. You feel relieved that you didn't fall for the devil's lie. You feel relieved that you were not deceived and you actually stayed the course. And yeah, in the moment, I'm gonna be honest, in the moment, it's not what you wanna do. In the moment, you're gonna have to really talk yourself through it. You're gonna have to pray to God, and you're going to have to ask Him to lean on His wisdom just to get you over the hump. Just to get you over that hump of immaturity. That hump of lack of awareness, because oftentimes when we're younger, we lack the awareness to see the bigger picture. All we see are our hormones raging. All we see is everybody else having a good time, having the life that we feel we deserve. All we see are people smiling and laughing as they dance on the broad and spacious road leading to destruction. They're having a good time, so we're just like, And here I am, you know, sacrificing my wants, needs, and desires, so you think, wants, needs, and desires to fulfill God's purpose for my life. And they're having fun. I want to have fun. That's the idea. That's what we feel we're missing something, you know? When you're younger, you always think that you're missing out on something. And you know something, I quickly learned that that's a lie, because there were times when I went to the club, right? And I thought to myself, this is what I thought I would be missing out on. And I looked around and I wasn't missing much. I was missing just another night of pretending, playing dress up, inflating the joy, inflating the good time, making it seem more than what it was, exaggerating my laughter, exaggerating laughter, rehearsing this counterfeit joy. This is what I was missing out on. I could have stayed at home and saved some money. Many days I blew through money like water, spending money on drinks and this idea of a good time, buying people drinks, coming home the next day looking at my bar tab, looking at my bank statements, wondering what the heck was I thinking. Then having to eat ramen the next week or rice and beans to compensate for all the expenditures and the financial irresponsibility. So it's like, this is what you think you're missing out on. When you think you're missing out on so much, you're really missing out on nothing. And people try to always do that. They always try to make it seem like it's more fun than it actually is. That you missed out on so much, or that was a once in a lifetime opportunity. No. No such thing. Success, joy, life recycles itself all the time. There is never such a thing as a missed opportunity. You will, like I said, if it's meant for you, you will have it. The end. I'm a firm believer that if it's meant for me, I'm going to have it, regardless of anything. No matter who tries to obstruct my path, no matter who tries to stand in my way, if it's meant for me, I'm going to have it. So the thing about it is this: you definitely need to make sure that you are living in alignment with, for one, God's will for your life, also having friends who are living in alignment with your purpose. Because having all these acquaintances, having all these associates and so-called buddies, they're short term. They don't last. But when you find roots, real friends who live in alignment with your purpose, who are walking right alongside you, then you found something. Then you found something great, because even when you have a disagreement, you can always rely and turn to your mutual purpose in order for you to find fulfillment and to reconcile again. Even when you have a falling out, you can always go back to your purpose. You know, in the scriptures, it mentions the threefold cord. They encourage marriage partners, you know, a man and a woman, to have God in their marriage if they want it to last, you know? And I encourage that with friends. You got to have friends who believe in God, who believe in his son, Jesus Christ, who believe and share your belief system if you want it to last, you know? Because even when you have disagreements and falling out, you could reason with them from the scriptures. You have a guiding light, a governing body by which to actually turn to. So many friends are breaking down right now because, for one, they don't have that spiritual component. They don't have a mutual faith. They don't have a guiding light by which to turn to when they have disagreements. They're just like, bye, cancel culture, discarding what could have been a lasting friendship because they don't have that faith bond. And I'm a firm believer of that. You got to have that bond, that faith in your friendship. If you don't have that faith in your friendship, chances are it's going to go awry. And does that mean that Christians don't have falling out with other Christians? Yeah, they do. They have falling outs all the time. But there's a different way that they handle it if they're living according to the scriptures. There's a different way that they handle it. I'm looking at my Christian friendships versus those friendships that are more worldly, more non-Christian based, more non-denominational. They have just a different mentality, a different mindset. And the scriptures even say it. Do not become unevenly yoked with unbelievers. Because when you become unevenly yoked, you struggle with trying to, for one, maintain your faith, with trying to apply Christian principles with worldly mindsets. There is that constant dissonance. You're always fighting to try to apply Christian principles to worldly mindsets, and you're feeling this disconnect because you feel like you're the only one that's trying. And so you definitely need to have some friends who share your faith. I'm learning that. But I guess these lessons, they come a little too late sometimes, but at least you learn them. Better late than never. So I hope this video was informative. Definitely let me know your opinions, your thinking. Much appreciated, y'all. Peace.